Welcome to the Arishem waiting room. We're at T-minus 4 minutes. We've got we'll call it Arishoki. This is the I guess my camera's in front of it. That's a bit of a bummer. This is the Arishem list that I have cooked up. Didn't help with some other folks online that I think is going to be the best. This is some real bad streaming. The cards that you cannot see, the cheapest 3 cards: Agent Coulson, Shang-Chi, and Enchantress. Enchantress is going to be huge because today I'm going to be doing a bunch of gold conquests with my Arishem list. And I do not know if it's going to go well. In fact, I suspect it is not going to go super well because the smart money today, in any mode, including Gold Conquest, is just Darkhawk. You just run Darkhawk and truck people like me trying to have a good time. So I've got Enchantress in there, as well as Shang-Chi to have a fighting chance. And who knows, maybe Arishem's extremely overpowered. And it'll go super duper well. I'm going to try my best, certainly. But I don't have the highest hopes for objective victory, but I do have high hopes for the amount of fun that we're going to have in 2 minutes when this card drops. Let's go over to collection, cards. There it is. There it is. Actually don't know. I've never gotten a card in the first minute before. I always wait, load the client back in. I do not know how this interaction is going to work. We're going to have to see. All right, 1 minute, 6 seconds. So exciting. Yeah, I picked the location of my camera somewhat arbitrarily. I wanted it to be a little bit larger than I would say most people do, but not, of course, obscene. And I wanted it to be a little bit more centralized. I didn't like far corner, and I also didn't, you don't want to cover up any UI elements. So I've got it kind of in this left center, which works pretty well for the game. Terrible for things like this, where I'm trying to show things that are not part of the game, and I don't have scenes set up to toggle between things, at least not yet. I imagine that's the next thing that's coming. I'll get a fancy keypad, I'll have buttons, and I can play sounds, change scenes, set up all this cool stuff. Haven't done any of that. 15 seconds! Oh my god. And again, I do not know if this is just going to change live, or if I have to reload the client, or how any of that works. Zero minutes, 0 seconds. Here it is. Do I want to reload the client just to be safe? I kind of do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to reload the client because I don't want to pull any of the cards from last week. Ah, Beesworth. How are you doing today? You got any upcoming Seattle sporting events that you're excited to check out? All right, here we go. Open it up. We are, of course, hoping for Arishem first card. But Hercules also great. And you know what? I don't hate the Black Swan skin, but I do have the one from the season pass. So Black Swan we want the least. Arishem we want the most. Hold to open. Here we go. Hercules will take it. That's a new card for me. Now we want Arishem. Or, I guess the thing that we would want the most is some random Nocturne with the 4th spot, but that seems unlikely. Also do a Pixie is another card that I would kind of want from that list. But Arishem, here we go. Alright, 1,000 tokens. Screw this game. Arishem in 3 keys, can we do it? We cannot. It took all 4 keys. Oh well. We knew that we wanted Arishem. Don't mind spending all the keys. There it is. Casual 4 keys, we got it. Question, is this a Diet Pepsi in a fancy glass? No, it's actually cold brew coffee, but I have in fact done Diet Pepsi in those glasses before. Alright. Arishem, going in. The Arishem deck that I have already pre-made. Stings with that 4 keys, but it is what it is. Also, let's just check the shop real quick in case there's anything we need to jump on before we get in there. No, we can come back to those things. Grab the free credits. And we are in there. We're going into Conquest immediately. Infinite Conquest available now, but we're going to do some Gold Conquest and just hope for the best with this Arishem list. And as I've said, I would not be surprised if this is not that good. At least, certainly today. Today, Darkhawk stocks very, very high. If I am playing competitive Conquest, oh my god, that is so cool. Oh yeah. I think we just snap. All right, you're running Zoo and you don't have your Arishem, you don't have your Gilgamesh. Get out of here. Unless my opponent also has Arishem. Anyway, feeling good already. This is so much fun. All right, we're playing for 2. My opponent does not mind. We're going to be able to get a Nick Fury down. Into whatever we want after that. It's just so unsettling. Really have no earthly idea where I am in the match, but frankly, my opponent probably has a similar problem. I think probably, honestly, an Enchantress goes pretty hard here. And then I could do something sneaky like a 6-drop right into a 6-drop right into Arnim Zola. Do I have time for that? No, I don't. We'll see.
Enchantress.
Oh, this is tempting now. The question now becomes, do I want to slam a big 6 into a big 6? Or is Loki the move here? Kind of don't hate. And do I worry about a leech? You know what? If I also do, like, even if this goes mid and I lock it up, can I, like, is regular Hulk big enough to win? How many cards does he have? He only has 3 cards in his hand. I think we do it. Well, that's not great. I got 1 card here. I could do something like Zola and hope that it hits Hulk, which certainly wins mid. And well, is this? That's not enough to win. Or just run for another day. This is 50-50 to probably win. Well, then he only has to add 4 power, right? But also spend all of his mana. I think that this is probably worth... Just because we have more gold tickets than we can go through here. If this hits Colossus and we just lose, we're fine with that. But, of course, I think that this is a 50-50, and if Zola hits the Red Hulk, we win. It doesn't. We lost. That's fine. Oh, but he did spend all of his mana, so that would not have been a win anyway. That's fine. We're learning. The right move on turn 5 was probably Loki. I just got a little bit short-sighted. Show me the graphic. Oh, what an amazing card. What a game. What a time to be alive. Curious who would have played Squirrel Girl left in that situation. That's not what I would have done. This Enchantress is proving to be a pretty good include. Well, nah, shit. There is an argument to hold that. It is what it is.
Enchantress.
Opponent has 2 cards in his hand. Do we want to do Fury or Leech here? I do kind of like getting rid of Gilgamesh. What other on reveals might... Oh, Shauna. Destroy gets hurts him bad. We're going to do Leech. There is an argument for Fury there. He'd hit 2 cards with his Leech. Good doing Loki here. Hand. Alright, so I've got 7 mana. Probably Blue Marvel, Cull, Nebula is the play. The question is, can I get big enough to win both these lanes? Because Cull and Nebula have to go in the same lane. Or is this okay? Something like this. Not adding a ton of power, but he doesn't have... Over here, I'm adding 11. I'm adding 12 power, going up to 22. He's just going to get an Ant-Man, which is going to put him up to 20. No, this is a retreat.
Escaped.
It is a retreat. Had I known I was going to draw Loki, I would have done what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson. Nick Fury. Would have done Nick Fury and had a much bigger hand and been in a better position there at the very end. We're learning. We're learning how this goes. Quicksilver? Sure. What a deck. I'm getting Enchantress every game. That's fun. That's always been in the game. Cool. We'll do that. Actually, with my opponent has Nebula, they often play that left or right, so I would play Quicksilver. One little bit of a hiccup in this deck, in this matchup, that I'm kind of discovering is whenever Enchantress is on the low end of the curve, I need to get it out early. And yeah, I'm going to take out a Dazzler right now, and that's cool. But I'm not hitting his Blue Marvel. I'm not hitting his Kazar. These things that like would be really, really impactful. But hitting a Dazzler's fine too.
Enchantress.
We'll do... Leech here. We could do something tricky like Odin business if he does a Blue Marvel Kazar middle. It's kind of fun. Blob is going to be proverbially literally huge. I am not going to snap back, but there is an argument to do so. Because I've got big boys. I guess we do this and try and lock up right here. So we did not do what's it called? Blue Marvel middle as would have been nice. So now I'm wondering, well, I've got a couple of thoughts here. This seems unlikely to... Well, you know what? I am absolutely going to snap back because we're in it. I'm probably going to lose here, but snapping there is correct just to get the extra cube out of it. I have my option of one of these 6-drops or these two 2-drops. He's got 4 cards in his hand. Can he easily add 7 power right, which is technically only 5 power right because of the Blue Marvel, I'm assuming he's going to play 2 cards. I cannot play Scarlet Witch right because that's just net loss of power. I think, honestly, it has to be this.
We are the future.
Yeah, that was going to be a loss. What could I have done there? I guess... Yeah, that was a loss no matter what. That might be a rough matchup, now that I think about it. Give my opponent a fist bump. I think they played that well. 18 cubes in Orisham, great. Or boosters. Orisham, great. Keep that going.
3D.
It is a bummer that it took 4 keys to get Orisham, but I was always going to get it, so that's fine. We keep the Gold Conquest going. For reference, I'm almost certainly not going to get through all 21 of these keys, so I'm really comfortable playing this fast and loose. And then the list that I'm using, I really haven't talked about the list. I threw it together, a combination of a bunch of reading that I did and just kind of thinking about it. There's a couple of questionable includes that I think could be argued against. The last tweak, for example, I made was I took Wave out, which I think Wave is kind of a cool concept in this deck. Just kind of how a Wave on 3 really, really impactful. But I took Wave out and put Nick Fury in. And I think that there is a real argument for that, but I have lost the one and only Gold Conquest that I've played so far, so we'll see. I've got a colossally traffic jammed hand here, which is just the nature of the beast. We're going to hope for a Loki on 4 and be able to dump a bunch of cheap things on Probably. We'll just see how it goes. We just really do not know. Or sorry, I guess Loki on this turn. How do I want to do this? I guess here. My opponent, Spider Ham and Widow, probably this kind of clog business. Yep. That's fine. I'll take that. Often these decks do run Darkhawk, which is a bit of a bummer. How to... Probably a little of that. And just lock up right, if we can do that.
Hey, I found a rook.
Notably,
Hey man, I'm cool.
we're swapping hands here. I'm going to give my opponent an Orison, which gives him absolutely nothing. So I need to get just 2 power. I'm going up to 3 power. That'll do that. I guess I want to get Black Widow out of my hand. This, and then just I'm literally only giving him Orison. This is probably a snap, actually. I think I snap. I'm really unmoored. Like, that might have been a snap 3 turns ago. I really don't know where I'm at with this deck. That's great. We're learning. Nobody knows where they're at with it or against it. Orison, an amazing card. Amazing info. Super happy that we're in the game. This is just great. Just great. Spider Ham, awesome. We'll take that. We maybe even snap that, honestly. I've got Shang-Chi in hand for a Colossal Darkhawk. He doesn't know what we're dealing with here. Eliath, great. I'm probably going to be able to get priority whenever I want on turns 5 or 6. Oh, this is fun. This is fun stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out on this Orison day. Do I want to fight for... Right. Maybe. I'm not in a great spot with my hand. I could do something tricky like Ultron middle on 5 if he doesn't get there. And try and fight for it. Or at least threaten to fight for it. Great. Have yourself a leech. Sure, we'll take it. So I'm thinking that Red Hulk left into some kind of Eliath Doom. Because I'm probably going to have some priority here. Feeling good. I do not exactly know where to predict what here. That, oh, I was gonna say that White Widow right was questionable, but he didn't White Widow right, he Jubileed right, which makes sense. My opponent probably running a Darkhawk, which, if we are to assume kind of normal conservative snapping, we can maybe predict when to get out scot-free.
I found a rock.
We'll see how it goes. Lizard on Raft, not great. Legion, kind of fun here. Oh, that's the other thing. There's an argument for Legion in these Aurisham decks that I think is a real compelling one. And I've got in my deck right now 3, 4, 6 drops, which is feeling a little heavy. I think there's absolutely an argument to cutting Magneto or Alioth in favor of some. Yeah, like this is a situation I'm finding myself in more often than I would have guessed. I think that after this game, I'm going to drop either Magneto or Alioth and put Wave back in. We could do Leech into Kingpin Cersei. If he doesn't get there, but he's probably going to do a Jubilee, maybe. Oh, no! We didn't get there. We didn't get there. Cool. Is this snap-worthy? This feels like this just might be snap-worthy.
Oh, snap.
We do this, and then we can Legion on the last turn to take Mojo World away, or something like that. We'll see. He's gonna get Raft alongside me, and not be full on the lane because he can move Jeff away. But with the Cersei, I'm gonna have a ton of power, and I've put him to a decision that does not feel super good. Couple of Thanoses, why not? A Colossal Raft. I'm going to need some big help here with the Cersei to have any shot at this. Nope. Nope. Kinda. Yeah, I don't love that. So we can do stuff like... How many... We really want to get... The thing is, he himself has a free 6-drop, and I've got nothing to deal with that. I think we just call it there. Yeah, this is feeling really top-heavy, and the argument to include Magneto, which I really like, is you're playing Magneto on 5 if you've got it in your hand. In most normal decks, you can then do some really interesting... uncomfortable clog situations or threat of clog situations by being able to throw down a Magneto on 5. But in practice, so far, extremely limited data set, of course, this is proving to be unreliable, and then the hand is heavy, and I just would like some cheaper cards. And again, the argument for having Wave in your deck, you get to play it on turn 2, which smooths out the curve. And then any of your 6-drops, you get to play on 3. They cannot take advantage of that. I think there's a real argument there. Magneto's feeling not great. The other, I don't know how strong or not Alioth is. So that might be a better cut, but I think either of those leaning towards Magneto as a worthy cut to make this deck better broadly. We'll see. We've only been in the Aurisham world for 25 minutes. That's right, I forget I get 2 mana on turn 1. My opponent does have a bunch of cheapos that he can use to build up a Gamma Lab. I do not know if he's got himself a... Shang-Chi in his deck. I do. Do I snap here? I just... Still feeling pretty unmoored. That doesn't feel super great. I have no way of getting over there. Does he have a way to get over there? So I have a couple of things I can do here. I can... Moon Girl. But that fills up my hand, and I would sure love to continue drawing. I think that at least a Muramasa shard is correct. The question is, do I want to play all 4 there? And the answer is I don't think so. I think that this is the correct play. He also, if he's smart, he's going to move Jeff right, because I don't think he's got another way of getting right. This is I'm a little afraid of a snap for a White Widow at Savage Land. Yeah, I don't. I'm prepared to leave there because I do not have a Shang-Chi or an Enchantress to deal with the many likely things that he could do right now. I also should not have retreated later. In that situation, I should have just retreated now and saved a couple of seconds. It's a good habit, but you don't have to do it all the time. That's so good. I wonder, I don't know if my opponent sees that. They may or may not. So, Blob and Shang-Chi in hand and cards cost 1 less. I'm feeling pretty good. I think I just snap you. Call it good. Have yourself a rock slide. I have no idea how much this benefits my opponent, the Elysium of it all. Probably, honestly, more than it benefits me. But with Blob and Shang-Chi in hand, his win conditions go away. And mine only get stronger. Okay. Alright, there goes one. That's fine. That's fine. Throw down a little strong guy there. How many get deck cards are in my deck? Like 1,000? 20 cards in my deck. Throw down a pig. I'm actually in a decent enough position to maybe get strong guy to trigger at the end here. It's not a common thing. So if he's got himself a Darkhawk or a Mystique, that's very funny. I actually need to get kind of lucky with the Blob. The reason being, with so many cards in my deck and so many rocks, I could hit a couple of big boys right away, and my deck actually doesn't get much smaller. Blob will get huge, but their Darkhawk will still be massive, massive, massive. So we're hoping for not Agatha. I think Valentina can still make Agatha. That's going to be tragic. Well, no, if she makes Agatha, she'll just play Agatha, and it's fine. But still, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I am so happy with this card. I hope it is at any level competitive. I'm feeling okay, but we really don't know where things are going to go from here. Galactus, that's a funny card. Now I've just got one turn. Yeah, I am going to play Widow's Bite, and I'm going to do Orisham. Or do I want to deny myself the draw this turn? Because I'm going to... Strong Guy's 1 or fewer cards. I'm absolutely going to be able to get down to 1 or fewer cards, so I like playing the Bite here. It is -1 power net if I just cannot... I'm a little afraid if he plays White Widow middle, that would be a thing that he would like to do. I think that maybe this is the better play. Give myself a little White Widow. Okay. Now I've got myself to a little bit of a decision here. And I can play all of my cards to trigger the strong guy. I could do something like Blob middle and fight for it. The thing is, if he pulls... Like, I've got a couple of massive cards in my deck, and I could just go Magneto Red Hulk and... could fight for these other lanes, but then he
Hello.
himself has 3 cards in his hand. And fighting for right seems pretty... kind of where I'm at right now is there an argument to try and put any power middle to make the blob shrinking my deck actually able to maybe take out his Darkhawk? Right now, with this, it seems mathematically impossible to bring it down to below 10. And this is for all the marbles. But I will feel real stupid. I'll just lose immediately if I just can't get big enough middle with the blob. I think that this is the play. The only argument is to swap it, and I think that this is correct. We'll see. It would be nice if Blob just hit every rock in the deck and took Darkhawk below a very small number, but I don't think that that's possible. Alright, probably a Blob is big enough to beat those things. Maybe, oh yeah, because Atuma's going to die. We're going to win. Let's see how small... Yeah, see, Darkhawk only got down to 29. So if we had 16, I would be at 26, and I would have lost middle. So we were correct to do what we did. And we win! Cool! Hooray for the good guys.
Victory.
Yeah, what did Blob actually eat? Wasp, into Rock, into Loki, into Enchant. He actually did eat a ton of cards. Well, not a ton of cards, but it wasn't just a 2-card done. It's just that Darkhawk is huge. We'll take it. And you know what? 16 power right, actually non-trivial. Strong Guy, pretty cool in that context. We'll take it. More boosters on Origin. That's awesome.
Animated.
That's incredible. What a great card. Curious what my opponent's collection... good opponent. Let's clear out some missions here. Good. And we're back in there. Oh, wait, no. We want to take out Magneto and put in Wave for the reasons that we discussed earlier. And we take out, move the window, put in Wave, and we'll see how that goes. You know, I don't think I've drawn Coulson a single thing. Yeah, this is a very inconsistent and weird-feeling deck. I don't hate it. I'm actually quite enjoying it. It's just funny how truly unhinged it is. Corvus? Why not? What a fun deck. What line will I take this game? Who knows? Corvus and Bar Sinister for all the mana in the universe? Probably not. But I could do that, and it would be pretty exciting. My opponent, normal deck. Black Panther on Bar Sinister is pretty cool, but then, you know, broadly, Shuri Black Panther is pretty cool. Is there an argument to actually playing a Corvus here? It wouldn't trigger this turn. It would trigger the following turn. Its power... I don't think I want to do that, though. I think... I don't know. There's a real argument to that being a mistake, but we're just going to do that. My opponent gets Arisham. Great, good for you. That's actually hilarious how White Palace is lopsided. Here in this situation. Well, this is a bummer because doing a vision into Bar Sinister is a good move, and probably what he's going to do. So, which means I can't Shuri this turn. Oh, of course he's not going to do that this turn, because it's turn 4. But is this correct for me, even with a Kraven on the board? Probably. Yeah, you're not going to be able to turn that off, buddy. Unfortunately, he has priority. That would have been pretty funny to be able to Alioth there. We could simply, I think that perhaps the right play, I will have assuming he doesn't move the Nocturne, I will have priority to be able to move 2 of the Visions right, throw 2 of the Visions middle, and then a Black Panther left, being bigger than anything that he could do. The only... Yeah, I don't want to move any of the Visions now, because I'll definitely lose priority. Maybe something like this. And I'm probably going to lose priority left, but... I don't know if it ultimately matters. But I'm definitely playing that there. Question is, do I move the Visions this turn? I think it ultimately doesn't matter. I don't know how. I don't know how the Nocturne moving into Bar Sinister works. It could do something like leave. Well, I'm certainly leaving 2 of the Visions there. Do I want to do a Black Panther or an Alioth? I don't know the biggest card that they've got there. I think that probably this is the play. I'm really uncomfortable. I do not know how the Nocturne thing works. Yeah, that's. Reluctant to snap back because I do not know if Nocturne moving into Bar Sinister with me having priority turns it off when the move happens or when his turn happens. I'll just stay for 4. I mean, there's an argument to snap back, but I'm not snapping back because I do not know how this works. Is this a Magneto? Is that what I needed to be afraid of? Yeah. I guess moving all and Black Panther was the play. I was too focused on the Nocturne. Well played by opponent. I should have known better. Black Panther would have been, I think, enough. That's 16 times 3. Yeah, that Black Panther was the play. And I still don't... I'm kind of sad because I don't know how that interaction works yet. I was really hoping that would have been revealed to me. Don't love my hand, but it is a lot of power. Darkhawk is a funny thing to pull. Does Enchantress do anything against his deck? Nominally, no. Is it worth exploring putting the Nick Fury middle?
Squad's still a little light.
That's a sweet Elsa. Give that one of these. Now, notably, Blob is ongoing. So, Spectrum is actually 10 power. I don't know if that's worth... Probably not all of us. No, that's 5 mana. Alright, so we can throw up a ton of power with Blob Agent 13. But I don't know where all that should go. He's got a lot of flexibility here. I think that ultimately this is the right play. But Nocturne is huge, and if he just moves that left... Would he move that left? This is really my only meaningful play. The question is, what's he looking at doing? He's got 6 cards in his hand. I think we retreat. I think that's a run. There's certainly a line that he would make of moving off to the right and kind of throwing left, but that's copium, as they say. Man, I'm mad about that first game where I could have seen the Magneto. I was able to stop that. You live, you learn. Not a huge deal. It's gold 2. We're in gold 2, by the way. Ongoing effects doubled. How does that help me or him? Let's do one of these deathlocks. Vulture's probably cool, right? So we're in a good spot if we do Cannonball mid and it hits Craven to the right. If it tosses Craven to the... I think this is probably actually a snap because I've got a lot of power that I'm putting down next 2 turns. We're hoping to shoot Craven to the right here because he's probably going to be doing Kitty left. Oh, easy. Left. Why not?
Opponent snapped.
An instant snap. What does that mean? Is that Shang-Chi? seems unlikely that any naked card is going to get... He's going to move 10 away with the vision. So is he thinking about a Magneto? Does Magneto win? That adds 2 power for him. Magneto left doesn't win. Is he thinking Magneto mid, move... Be Magneto mid and move Vision to the right. This beats that. I kind of like this. This beats a Vision moving right. That's a... That was a very aggressive snap on my opponent. I really do not know if he really thought that through. What a great card. I am pretty mad that it took the 4 keys, but it is what it is. Oh, Morbius into Corvus Glaive. Standard Arishem line, why not? Is this smart? Probably not. But nobody ever accused me of that. I guess we're hoping for not Sunspot to go away. Cool. Those are the best hits. In fact, we snap there. I'm in a pretty great spot, and I think my opponent sensed that, or at least they are in a not great spot. Is a Loki? I'm not comfortable enough with move to just snap on Loki, but there's probably an argument to do so. Dr. Octopus is a fun thing to have. But I think that Loki, well, because I've got this is a good hand broadly. I could do something like Jubilee into Doc Ock and stuff, but I think that probably I want to do Loki and then have his stuff. Or do I? Or do I? Jubilee is a true Hail Mary. Thing is, Dr. Octopus's efficacy is reduced in a move deck. I think we just do this. Ah, Professor X. That kind of makes sense. It's very good to know that he's got that. How much does my Professor X cost? Do I maybe want to do something like this instead and not get too cute with Professor X?
Oh,
I
snap.
think I probably do. Yes, let's go. I don't like that they played the 2 cards there. Is that a Athena as well? Hmm. This puts me in a great spot left. But Craven Athena exactly middle, I'm not happy to see. So do I instead want to do something like Nick Fury Nocturne? Actually, Nick Fury Nocturne's probably... probably a good move. I believe that this is the play. 1 card. What is this? What is this 1/5? Is that just vision? Ah. Love it. Love it. He can add 8 power there with his 2 moves. I think I'm in a commanding position, actually. And this is the last one of the game. I'm going to probably leave Nocturne there. And then just how do I add the most power left? That adds 9 power plus 3. That adds 12 power. I think that's the most power I can add. Yeah. We'll do this. I cannot see how he beats me right or middle. Excuse me, I can easily see how he beats me middle. I do not see how he beats me right, and if he needs to beat me left and middle, I don't see how he does it. So he's got me middle. The question is, are the 2 cards that he played bigger than 18 power left? I don't see how that's possible. Oh my god, his Captain Marvel can get over there. I didn't see that at all. Oh, wait, yeah. Whoa, I didn't see that at all. There's no way I could have played around that, but wow. I thought I had that locked up. Good for him. Good for him. I guess like Nocturne... No, Nocturne middle... Nocturne middle was a hard line to find. I think that that would have won. If I had known he was going to exactly play Captain Marvel, that's what I needed to do. But boy, that was hard to find. Move is hard to play against. Question, am I winning today? The answer is broadly no. I'd say it's about 50-50 at this point. But it's Aurisham Day, and we have not talked about the importance and magnificence of Aurisham, but here we are. Do I play 0? I think I hold off a turn, just in case. A new card was introduced today in Marvel Snap. It's called Aurisham. We just saw a large animation at the beginning of this. That changes everything. It's the most anticipated card in the history of Marvel Snap. It is very much in line with how I like to play Marvel Snap. And I am super duper excited for it. But I also don't know if it is good. Or if I will be able to play it or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm winning. That's secondary. The important thing is, are we playing Aurisham and having a nice time? And we definitely are. Alright, so do we want to do something like... I could do Hope, Captain Marvel. Or I could just do Professor X. There's probably an argument there. So I do Hope, Captain Marvel. This feels like I've got this locked up. I can guarantee... I mean, if he plays... Not super chuffed about a vision there. Yeah. So he can just get big enough there. But do I have... I've got 8 mana. Where do I anticipate that vision going? Probably left. If it does something like... The most logical course for my opponent is to move Vision left and, like, for sure win that. And then move Nocturne right for maximum power. And if he doesn't do that, I'm in a good spot. But he might overthink it and try and get, like, his playing his own Captain Marvel, and he moves the Vision left for a ton of power. I guess the question is, do I want to do... I think I have to do this. He's not going to leave Vision middle. That would be crazy, right? It's really hard to play against move here. I think we just send it. Probably going to lose here, but my opponent could think his way out of this. Oh, well, I actually don't know if that's enough power. We'll see.
Higher, further, faster, baby.
Oh, that's so disappointing because my own Captain Marvel could move and win right, but because of the order of the priority, it didn't work out. Very close. I played that exactly correct, but it was not to be. Captain Marvel is an interesting addition into that move archetype that you don't normally see, and worked out very well. I would have absolutely won that with no, like, not even close, had he not had Captain Marvel. And in both instances, he was able to, like, really cheat out win. Like, not cheating, but, like, cheat out wins. So, okay, yeah, Arishem, for those of you, like, not super familiar with the Marvel Snap landscape, it's an incredibly weird card. Like, it is this incredible animation at the start of the game. It adds a huge upside while introducing a huge downside. So you add it to your deck, and it gives you an extra 1 mana per turn. That's huge. That's busted. That's incredibly overpowered. There's almost no way to balance that. Having an extra mana every single turn, that's simply broken. But what it also does is it adds 10 random cards to your deck, which nominally starts with 12. And so whenever you're making a deck, you have a very tight, cohesive, you know, I'm doing this combo or having this counters or building towards something. And whenever you add 10 rando cards to a deck, it makes it way worse, way more inconsistent, but way more random and way more fun. So it's been hotly debated whether this is an incredible card that's going to change the game because it's so broken and overpowered, a trash card that is just a joke gimmick only people like me who like playing fun decks will play and just lose but having fun while doing it, or balanced and in the middle and like good in certain matchups and bad in other matchups. No one has any idea. It was introduced to the game
Squat
1 hour and
still
1 minute
a
ago.
little light.
So I'm doing it. It's super duper fun. But at the same time, kind of just a bit... Whenever a new card is introduced, it's very, very, very common for players who are smart, like a lot of Conquest players in my kind of quote-unquote bracket, to play the hard counter to that new card. So everyone out there is playing Arashim, like I am. Except for the people out there who are playing the hard counter to Arashim, which might be a... certainly a Darkhawk deck. I don't know what this magic means. I guess this is probably a surfer situation. I'm not super upset about a surfer situation. I guess we're maybe... I guess the question is, do I want to destroy her at all, or just do some kind of surfy stuff, Cersei stuff? I kind of like destroying. Make the Scar cheaper. And then if he plays a Wong this turn, we're in an okay spot. I don't know if he's playing Wong this turn. Oh, that's fun. Well, if I could keep priority, I'm in a cool spot with regards to Eliathing. But retreats, very confused.
Victory.
I think broadly I'm favored on this matchup because they simply limited the amount of points that they can put up. I don't know. I don't know about any matchup right now, honestly. This is just so much fun. So we got the wave. We've drawn a wave. But we don't have a matching 6-drop kind of for the first time. Boy, this is just an inconsistent deck. Is there a chance that this deck runs Shadow King? I'll say no. I'm gonna snap now. And we could do wave into blob, and he can't do anything on turn. Well, he can't do any. This is what why the wave is in the deck. We talked about this. Wave on turn 2. Do we want to do? I guess probably. Maybe this. Which allows me to do a 6-drop on turn 4, but they cannot do a 6-drop on turn 4. He's got 6 cards in his hand, and I'm just going to choke him out with Leech here. It seems very unlikely that... well, actually, the argument is maybe doing Leech next turn. This is me trying to get a couple extra cubes from my opponent. This is not the quote-unquote optimal play, this Agent Coulson. However, it by playing Leech on 5, hopefully it gives me the opportunity to just truly what is the right word? Lock him out of the game after he can no longer retreat. Because he's going to want to do Surfer stuff, he's going to want to do Hazmat stuff, and he's not going to be able to do any of that stuff. And the fact that he's thinking about it right now makes me think that, yeah, alright, so we're in it for at least 4. Oh, just kidding. That was a smart... He will be able to get out of here if he really wants to. I hit 4 of his cards with my shenanigans. So I have a couple options here. The maximum amount of power, you're not going to do stuff like slam a Helicarrier. Or Nomura here. But there is an argument to Lokiing in hopes of a Luke Cage. Nah, I think just Nomura's the most power, and then I have options next turn. So I have 8 mana. Boy, this is a funny deck. I could do something like... Yeah, as expected.
Victory.
I think that probably I'm broadly favored against. This is feeling like I've got tools and surprise against a Surfer deck, and he doesn't.
Opponent snapped.
Opponent instant snaps, and the only thing I've got that I really like in my hand is Enchantress, which is a cool thing to have in my hand. But other than that, I don't like, and fine retreating for 1.
Escape.
Boy, this is... So, I don't know how often you guys play Snap and just trying a completely new deck, and it just feels very uncomfortable. I've never felt anything as, like, not uncomfortably, like, uh-oh. Game froze for a moment there. Like, uncomfortable, super, super, super bad. But some true next level, I don't know what the hell's happening. So I think there's actually an argument to holding the Nocturne. And if he magics on a future turn, I can play Nocturne on a different lane and have the ability to turn that off. I would guess if he's going to magic, he would do it on this turn, and he would play it on Space Throne. I could do something like this to really... See, I don't think he could possibly put... He could probably put 5 power. This feels fine. Is this a Brood? That is a Brood. That's nice, because that really fills up the lane. Very good. Get filled. Nerd. Hell Cow, I don't love. I also don't like any of this. I guess. Yeah, but that's. Welcome to Arisham, man. I guess we just Shang-Chi. It seems unlikely that I'm going to get value elsewise. Snapping here feels good. I am going to do that. There is an argument against it. He could do some kind of... Even though I'm going to turn off the Wong, if he's got some kind of Hazmat Luke Cage or just hits the right way. I do not have a ton of power kind of happening here, which is a consideration. But I do broadly feel ahead. And again, how do you play against this? Like, my opponent has no earthly idea what I'm about to do. That snap could mean a trillion different things. This is awesome. I love it. He's filled up his right lane. Win or lose, this deck in this situation has put my opponent in a true...
Victory.
I can't think of the right word for an MMA hold from which there is no chokehold, we'll say. I don't know. But yes, my opponent escapes because what else can he do? He could have the perfect whatever cards in his hand. He had 6 cards in his hand. They can be the perfect ones. He has no earthly idea how to play. And it's not his fault. It's just the nature of Arisham and all that business. Leech is great. Leech is, I think is going to kind of convert. Yeah. I almost want to stat back. I think I snap back because I have Leech. That's it. Period. End of sentence. I think that his snap means that he's got, like, Surfer and Absorbing Man or something. But Leech will beat him. That's just the end of the story. Glad that didn't lose that. Luke Cage is a great thing we continue to be happy, I'm going to be able to refill my hand with Nick Fury. If they snap, you should snap in their face. That is what we are doing. I am absolutely 100% snapping in their face. Do I want a Nick Fury left? Do I want a Nick Fury middle? Possibly even right. But I think probably Nick Fury middle is the right play. The thing is, I could get huge with a probably Cersei middle will
Who'll
eventually
they
be the
dig
play.
up this time?
But yeah, what I'm going to be doing this turn is playing. Maybe he's just snapping on the back of having magic. You know what? There actually is an argument to holding the leech, because he's certainly not going to be doing. I kind of like giving him the opportunity to draw another card. What I'm thinking about now is leeching now. Does that make sense? The thing is, he's going to draw the card on 5, 6, and 7. So I don't need to get it out right now. But if my opponent senses that leech is an option, he could do some shenanigans earlier. I kind of like not doing it just yet. I've got time. I could do something like this. I've also got a Shadow King in my hand. That's very powerful. That's hilarious. That might have just locked up the game. We'll see what this last card is. No, that's a bunch of power. I got a Shadow King, and his Luke Cage is gone. This is probably pretty great. And that's Brood. Oh, oh man, that feels so bad. All right, so what I'm going to do now, just to really make it hurt, is leech. The question is, do I want to bother? I guess I kind of want to leech right because Shadow King potentials. And then what does... Those are 3, 4, 4. I'm trying to imagine what a Magneto here looks like. Do I want to get even more saucy and just fill up right here? I think there's a real argument to doing that. The other thing is, he doesn't... So Surfer is the last card that I would want to turn off. I don't even know if I have to leech here, I guess is the moral of the story.
We are the future.
So I kind of don't want to have priority. Do I have it now? I have it now. Seems like Alioth left is going to be a good way to go. There's a couple ways I could play myself right out of this game. I have so many good lines. He's got 2 cards in his deck. A Surfer is a bunch of power. I maybe got too cute with the... I mean, this just wins right every time. I think we don't want to get too cute with it. I think we do this. So, oh, and I don't have priority. Okay, wonderful. So, there's no way he's going to be able to get big enough right. All we're doing is then this. Is that the right play? The alternative. I mean, I guess adding 7 power and just turning his Odin down a little bit. I guess honestly, the most we're talking about here is... Oh, and I still have 8 mana. When did I get 8? Oh, because we're on Limbo. This just has to be the right Is there any chance that he runs Shang-Chi and that's, like, that cooks me? This just seems unlosable. Yeah, that's not big enough there. Shrink you. Yeah, I don't know what I'm sweating over. That was a stranglehold.
Victory.
I had the right line there. There was a lot of lines as of like turn 4 that I could have done that some of them win the game every single time, some of them win the game some of the time, some of them tragically, like I would have played my way right out of the game. I had things like, am I going to try and get priority and predict like a clutch Goliath? You'll note I didn't play Leech. And the reason I didn't have to do that is because I did Cersei on 4, which converted Nick Fury into Dr. Octopus, and that is what ended up winning the game. It brought down Wong after it brought down all his other on reveals, and he also lost his Luke Cage to whatever location that was. Arishem is a lot of fun, I guess is the moral of the story. There's so many lines and really puts your opponent on the back foot in so many situations. This is just the best. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I really hope that it's good. That's kind of the X factor here. The fact that I'm winning some of these games. Like my opponent hasn't even hit Infinite this season yet, so I don't know like if this is truly good or, as they say, copium. Let's finish up this mission here. As I'm doing this, everyone else is doing Arishem out there, and I don't know what lists are working or what lists are not working. I'm pretty satisfied with the one that I've got. It feels maybe a little top-heavy. I could, as I say, I cut Magneto earlier and put Wave in, and that felt a little bit good. But this really is an inconsistent deck. I went the first bunch of games and didn't even remember that Coulson was in there because I just never saw it. This is really, really special. I'm glad this card is in the game. No earthly idea if it's actually good or not. I'm having a lot of fun. I could see a world in which this is all I do. I just play Arishem stuff. I'm very pleased by the lack of Darkhawk. I had one Darkhawk opponent, and I think I trucked him pretty good. That was maybe more luck than anything else, but I have not encountered a true hard counter. We'll see. Card text disabled here. Sure, I don't need an invisible woman. That's fine. I've got Wave, which is a nice thing to have. Arishem, sure. I'll take that. Spider-Hand doesn't matter. The question now is, can I draw a 6-drop this turn or next turn to make Wave good? No, but we are going to play Wave anyway. Because it will only help him moving forward and won't only help me right now. Oh, little Ronin situation. That's fun. Good for you. Opponent, wait. Yeah, my opponent just runs Master Mold. That's awesome. So what am I doing here? Am I a Goliathing? There's a real argument there. Does my opponent run like a Shang-Chi that I should be worried about? An Goliath just wrecking me here? Well, my opponent can't. He's just playing a normal, whatever, 3-drop he wants, so this isn't like the end of the world. I think I'm going to do that right. That's cool. But did I stop? That's cool. So my opponent definitely doing some kind of, random Enchantress, sure. I kind of like Sentinel into Cersei next turn. That locks me out of the lane, but, well, maybe I don't want to get locked out of the lane. I think I can see an argument there. So, question, how did you get this fancy new card? They introduce a new card in Marvel Snap every week. And through the economy of the game, you are given resources to acquire something like some amount under one card a week. So you kind of you have the resources to get some of the new cards, but not all of the new cards. And I am pretty stingy and frugal when it comes to these resources for just such an occasion. I knew this card was coming, and I had enough resources to get it like 100 times over. It's a matter of some people don't have the resources to get it. Sorry, I'm gonna think about this turn. I could do something like Iron Man Middle. But I'm probably going to want a Cersei middle, and I'm definitely going to want an Enchantress middle to keep things a little bit ahead. So I think we Iron Man right. And it's not great. I don't love this.
I am Iron Man.
No. Okay. Yeah, we're in a great... So, like, the kind of a tragedy here is snapping is bad. So my opponent has to do a couple of things. He has to play, in order to win left with his Miss Marvel, he's going to have to play at least one card that's larger than 3 left. And, if not 2 cards. And play right to beat anything that I play right. Snapping seems dumb. You know, I am gonna... I don't know if I think that this deck generally beats me, so I'm gonna snap, and I don't know if he's gonna be able to read what the snap is. And I hope that he stays and loses, but there is an argument... Like, first of all, there's many plays that he could do that cooks me. He could just throw right, because he's already ahead now, focus on middle and left, and then I'm not putting up a ton of new power. Absolutely an argument for that. In which case I lose, but I think that I'm broadly unfavored against this deck anyway. It looks like I'm probably... We'll see. I feel good about what I'm seeing here right now. I can't think of what single card he would play that would beat me right. Yeah, that doesn't hit anything. We're good. We win.
Hey,
That's
man,
weird
I'm
that he
cool.
stayed. That's weird that he stayed. So, I'm reminded. Here's some Marble Snap wisdom from educated Collins to me, to you. It's related to this game. He, many ages ago, back when Chavez was the old style that she stayed at the bottom of the deck and you drew her on 6, he had a video, and it was incredibly useful. It's like, don't snap on Chavez. If you are only winning because you have an Angela Chavez, and that's what you're playing on 6, and your opponent snaps, or you think that you're strong and you snap, that's never a good idea. It's never enough surprise or power to represent beating a snap. And it's right, and a lot to unpack there. I could talk more about it. The thing is, that's what my opponent just did. I snapped, and he loses to either Enchantress or Shang-Chi. He just loses outright. There's nothing that he beats if I play either of those cards. And it's very likely that I had one of those cards, and he stayed in anyway. That was the equivalent of... Do I snap here? I'm getting rid of 3 strong cards, but I'm getting the Muir Island stuff. There's an argument to be snapping here. I don't want to do that. With this deck, I kind of like playing a little bit more reactive. We'll see what we get and all that. This telegraphs that I'm not going to have... Miss Marvel. He does not know. I guess I'm playing literally all the cards that I Loki'd. So that is what it is. We hope that, I guess... I don't know which location we hope. Okay, so he has Doctor Doom. That's gone.
Hey,
Didn't know
found
he
a
had
rook.
that. I guess that is a likely thing for a Miss Marvel deck to have. I'm completely out of resources other than some friggin' Sentinels. The best draw, very mathematically unlikely. Let's call it 1 out of 18. Sure would like to draw a blob next turn. sorry. Did I say 1 out of 18? Because I meant 1 out of 21 for drawing the blob. That's not the blob. So that snap means any number of terrible things. He could just have Darkhawk and play that, and... yeah, staying here is foolish. And... so I won't do it.
Escaped.
Yeah, Blob is maybe one of my favorite cards in Marvel Snap, and I'm happy to report is like an auto-include in an Arishem deck. It makes a ton of sense to put in every Arishem deck. There's no ambiguity to it. So I'm really happy to have both of these things. So we've got Wave into Red Hulk. We like that. But it's really difficult to snap into an opponent that is running both Mystique and Darkhawk.
Hey, you found a rook.
If I was running something that wasn't kind of a proverbial hard counter,
Right on time.
I would be snapping here, because Wave on 2, 6-drop on 4 is something that he just can't deal with. Or, sorry, that most opponents can't deal with. The power asymmetry is too great. That said, my opponent is running the Darkhawk of it all. Okay, that could favor me. We'll see how that goes. Widow's Bite, not the worst thing in the world. That said, I do actually... is that correct? I guess I'd rather do something like this. I'm making myself uncomfortably full on the right, but I guess he's in that same boat exactly. There's the blob. I think that we snap this. Question is, do we play blob right? I think we do. And by right, I mean left. That's the language I'm trying to do. Blob's never going to move. There's an argument to making it go right. But I think that this is the move. And then we kind of almost don't care if Red Hulk or Sentinel moves, because I've got some big boys to play middle. The thing that we do not want to see from our opponent that I cannot deal with is if he plays a Darkhawk this turn and then a Mystique the last turn, I'm kind of cooked. It depends on what Blob can eat. Currently I have 20 cards in my deck. Let's hope for the best. I'm going to snap, and I'm going to enter. For reference, Darkhawk is as big as the number of cards in my deck, and I have a frickin' ocean amount of cards in my deck. Blob eats those cards. So not only does Blob get huge, but Blob shrinks. That is not a great number of eats. Yeah, that's not great. And that is maybe the worst set of circumstances there. So what I needed Blob to do was eat a lot more smaller cards before it got to the bigger ones. It just ate 3 cards. I've still got 16 in my deck. And if he has a Mystique, he plays it left and just wins. There's nothing I can do about that. And he's got 4 cards in his deck. This is just really what it comes down to. He cannot... It just comes down to, does he have Mystique in his hand? If he does, he plays it left and wins. And I don't... there's nothing that I can do. No permutation of cards and locations that allows me to compete with that. But if he doesn't have Mystique, I basically win. I don't think there's anything that he can play in any location that will let him do that. So what I think I have to do is retreat later, because he's only going to stay in if he, seeing what he sees. He's only going to stay in if he has the Mystique. I'm going to retreat later. Given that happened like that, he had Mystique in his hand, played it left, and would have won. So I'm kind of sad. What I needed Blob to do was eat a lot more, or I needed his card to go fill up that location, rather than my small Sentinel doing that. It's kind of an unfortunate series of luck events, but I'm happy with how we played that, even if the RNG didn't work out in our favor. How do we feel about Shuri Warpath Professor X? Professor X is a cool card. He has Jeff, but that's it in terms of moving in and out. Calling Wing discards a card that I don't overly care about. I think we'll play that right. Warpath, sure. We don't hate losing that. This is good. I could do stuff like... Yeah, do stuff like Shuri. Into Cersei, Widow's Bite. Oh, that's bad. But I do have another Cersei. Well, that's actually also kind of funny. I think I just have to Cersei again. I mean, that is a very, very strong couple of cards there. And it seems likely that, you know, I maybe can't. Now, the problem is not the Black Widow. The problem is this Electro that only lets me play one card a turn. I think we do this. I think I have to Cersei the Widow's Bite and then just Blob last turn. And he can't play Dark Hawk, so have I snapped? Yeah, I snapped. I think I'm in a good spot, but I could also be in a terrible spot and not know it. Yeah. I'm in a pretty terrible spot. The reason is now my opponent can just play his Shang-Chi middle. Boy, that is rough. My opponent really should have snapped there. That Electro is killing me, man. I think I have to retreat here, because he can just Shang-Chi and just do anything. I can't protect the Cersei, and I can only play one card. I mean, I don't like losing that, but my opponent easily could have snapped back, and I absolutely would have stayed. Now, all of this is to say that what my opponent has done, very intelligently, I should add, is his list is surgically constructed in a laboratory to beat an Arishem deck. He is very appropriate, or she, or they, very appropriately knows that the first day, people are going to be playing a lot of Arishem, and so the smart thing to do is to be running counters to that, and that's exactly what they have done. I do not want to Blade and get rid of Enchantress. So, the fact that I'm struggling against a Darkhawk, Shang-Chi, Mystique, everything, not a huge problem. But, and that's it, I'm still even, you know, only behind a cube, as it were, in this match, so it's okay. It's okay. We're playing for fun. Nice Miss Marvel, that's kind of fun. A natural thing to do would be play Marvel middle and kind of grow around that. However, I've got an Enchantress and might end up wanting to hit his thing. I think we're going to Marvel middle because the more likely Enchantress target is going to be Darkhawk, and if I lose my Marvel, that's fine too. Yeah, I don't know if you should end up doing that. I could do stuff like this. It's dubious whether you should be Black Widow and whenever there's a machine world on the board. Do I want priority? I kind of think I don't want priority. Yeah, because I can't play Darkhawk yet. Hitting the Blade is not only great, but even good.
Hey man, I'm Cook.
My opponent's 4 cards in his hand. Could do something like this. Get a pretty big... Well, no, because I know he's got Shang-Chi, so I don't want to make a colossally huge Venom. What's the right play here? Could just try and get huge. Maybe this is the play. He's not going to want to play Cable and make my deck smaller. Give myself some big card options, keeping the Miss Marvel alive as I need to. What is the pig card? So there's a card. This card Spider Ham. It's cheap, so not very powerful. But it's a disruption card and transforms one of your cards into a pig. So it's... In this case, it actually was an upside, because the pig doesn't do anything, and Blade kind of has a downside. But the answer to your question is it makes the... Man, what do you... If I'm my opponent... My opponent has Darkhawk. Does he play it... He's not going to play it left. I think I Eliath Pig, to be perfectly honest with you. My opponent plays Darkhawk middle. He fills up the lane, and I cook him with Enchantress. He's not going to play it left. This is a snap. Because it'll be disabled. So he might play it right, and I'm going to Eliath it. Yeah, maybe even should have snapped earlier there. His Isle of Silence and Machine World don't favor him. And I had priority, so I maybe should have snapped earlier, but I played that well. Also, I'd like to thank you, Hail Satan Luxie, for the interaction. I know that Marvel Snap is not something that you spend a ton of time with outside of the school. And so getting involved and engaged in the chat, in spite of that, I really appreciate it. It's super cool. It's super cool. It really makes what I'm doing easier. Dagger does fuck and all, unless I can move. But I do want to keep my hand size small because he's got Master Mold. So I'm playing a 0 power 0. And unless I get some kind of Arishan business, it's going to remain 0 the entire game. Blob is huge. Blob is great. The question is, do I want to... On turn 4, I can also Juggernaut, which is kind of fun. If I feel like he's going to... This is maybe even a snap again. That Juggernaut is actually pretty big. I'm going to Coulson. Well, I appreciate you dabbling. I don't even know if I'd recommend that for anyone's life. I love Marvel Snap, but it has kind of consumed my life in a way that I don't know if I'd recommend it to my friends and loved ones, but I think it's pretty fun. Super Scroll is pretty big. Pretty happy to see that.
I found the rock.
We'll just get that going. Good, yeah, Beesworth, you're correct to not touch it. And, you as a Marvel fan, that makes a... you ostensibly would be wanting to touch it. Alright, so I am comfortable doing... The thing is, if I could play Mockingbird now and just start getting big, but also it's going to get cheaper and cheaper. And my opponent has established himself to have Shang-Chi. I'm in an interesting spot here. This is a lot of back and forth. Having Super Scroll down puts my opponent in a very challenging position. Those are two that kind of I would rather not have to deal with the cards. So this is tough. My opponent could simply do... Well, you know what? No, that's not tough at all. What am I talking about? Juggernaut is friggin' huge here. The question is, do I need to play another card here because of the ability for him to move Jeff? Jeff is going to go to 5 next turn, and if he moves it, he'll tie. So regrettably, I have to Mockingbird. No, actually, I guess I can do this. This is the right play. There's nothing well, he could do if he has if he's playing Miss Marvel right here. I think that maybe I have to go 13, 9, that'll take it 14. I think I have to, actually, not. I have to go bigger here than I otherwise would. To play around a Miss Marvel getting played right now. Yeah. And if that goes left, or I guess it doesn't matter what side it goes to, I need to be able to beat a Miss Marvel plus Korg plus Jeff if he moves at middle, and I have done that. I think that I'm in a commanding position here. Question now. So I'm playing Blob and Rocket Raccoon. That's happening for sure. The thing is, he has priority. So he can do something like... excuse me, I have priority. So he can do something like Shang-Chi, predictively. And if I play this wrong, I'm cooked. So now I'm trying to predict what he's trying to predict I will do. I think I have to go Blob thing there. I think he could find the line of moving Jeff and Shang-Chiing, and that would be a hell of a thing for him to find. Yeah, they actually buffed... Rocket used to be worse, and they buffed him, and now, like, he's pretty decent. The thing is, he could... I think I maybe just throw... I think that this is the play, honestly. Because him being able to move a 5-power Jeff puts me in an awkward position. I'm just doing this. And if he plays a naked Darkhawk left, I think that maybe my Super Scroll is going to be big enough. Oh, Doctor Doom! I wasn't thinking about Doctor Doom! I knew he had Doctor Doom! Oh, yes, of course. Of course. I was so hung up on Darkhawk. Yeah, that's even harder to win. Oh, man, what could I have done there? Yeah, that's tough. I would have won with the Rocket Blob line, but I would have had to predict exactly Doctor Doom, and Darkhawk was just a more likely thing that I wanted to play around. I played that super well until the end. But you live, you learn. I'm actually not as... what's the word I'm looking for? Engaged about... So he's got Jeff, so Jean Grey benefits him more than it benefits me. Loki in this deck is a natural auto-include. But, at least today, 1 hour in, this is a fairly, do I want to... wait on Loki? No, I don't know. This is asymmetrical, so this is a perfect example. I'm going to be playing Loki right now, and it just does not benefit me like it benefits him, because he's got 1,000 cards in his deck. Now, that said, a couple of... Miss Marvel businesses? Do I want to even... Could do something like...
Hey, I found a rook.
And now I have the option of Miss Marveling middle, but that's dangerous, because that really locks me out of blocks me out of middle. I think that maybe that's probably correct. And I got 1, 2, 3. I think that I like this. This is counterintuitive. But I'm going to be able to really put up a bunch of numbers elsewhere. In a way that I don't know if he's going to be able to compete with, because I've got so much mana and discounts and all that. And if that's like a Sarah, yeah, he's going to have to do something to win middle. Alright, so I have to worry about losing a card in Warrior Falls. This means that I'm good there. Do I have room for a 4-drop there? I do. And I don't have room for a 2-drop. This is the most power that I can do. And I'm good with it. It's weird my opponent running Master Mold in no Ronin. I don't know if I agree with that decision from a deck building perspective. Yeah, I think that this is enough to probably win most permutations. That said, he's got a Sarah down, and simply a Darkhawk Mystique wins. But a Darkhawk Mystique was always going to win. So he moves his Jeff and plays Darkhawk Mystique. There's nothing we could have done. But I'm comfortable with how he played this matchup, other than not anticipating the Doom last time. But, you know, you live, you learn. Oh, shit. No, I'm going to lose, because he didn't actually play anything right. I am going to lose Warrior Falls. Let's just hope for the best here. Enchantress. Didn't actually see that permutation alone coming. So that's going to be... Yeah, I still win middle and left. That's fine. I am going to lose right unexpectedly. I did not anticipate that playing out like that. But no, I'm happy with how I played that. Victory! That's weird. He must have done the math wrong, because I feel like that was my board state already. He could have seen that coming, that I was going to lose. He was going to lose left, quote-unquote, on board. I don't know what that was. Either I'm misremembering or what my board state was before my opponent just made a big brain fart. Either way, we take the win. We move on. Like Mysterio, what's happening? I've forgotten already what we're doing with Arishem. So, I've got Wave, Red Hulk. That's big, but he has, again, Shang-Chi. Again, his deck is built and allowed to beat mine. This is a bummer, but the fact that we're holding on like this is crazy. Well, that's big. This actually... he doesn't have a way to change locations. I like this. That said, Jeff just wins that lane, so I have to be very careful. If he has Shang-Chi, he's probably just going to win the game. We'll see. We'll do this. Alright, I kind of like my odds here. If he Shang-Chi's... Right. So what is in his deck? He does not have a 4-drop that can even beat Wave. So the only thing he can do is Shang-Chi right, and I can beat Shang-Chi right with this. Yeah, I think that I've mathematically cooked him here. I don't think there's a... So no, that's actually not true. He could do, like, No, I think I've got him. I don't think that there's anything he can do. Like, if that's Shang-Chi, he's at 7, I'm at 7, and Wave wins the tiebreaker. Or is it 6, and I just win the game? Yeah! My opponent played that so fucking well, and it didn't matter, because Arishem rules. Oh, Arishem rules. I mean, hats off to my opponent. Like, he did not screw up. I mean, I guess he screwed up at the last game, but that might not even screw up because he didn't have better cards that he could have won that. But That's amazing how that played out in the end. It literally, there was no cards, just looking at what he could have done. On turn 4, the only cards that he can afford to play: Miss Marvel, can't beat Wave. Shang-Chi, can't beat Wave. Rockslide, can't beat Wave. Rockslide Korg. No, you know what? I'll take that back. I'll take that back. What he could have done, and this would have been a very hard thing for me to see, is Miss Marvel. No, that's Miss Marvel on 4. Never mind. Rockslide Korg ties middle, but I just cook him on points in the tiebreaker. Black Widow, can't beat middle. Master Mold, Korg, Spider-Ham, none of these win. I had him truly deadlocked at the end because of being able to play Mysterious Sentinel on the Red Hulk lane, which I was only able to get because of Wave into Red Hulk with the Arishem thing. I'm liking this list a lot. Wave is definitely worth putting in. I do not know if maybe there's an argument to swapping Alioth or Magneto or getting rid of Alioth entirely. In any case, we take that win. Well fought by my opponent. Better fought by me. Alright, let's go back. Clear out that mission. Clear out that mission. So here we are for the Infinity ticket. And again, we're just, playing for fun. So, fun bit, I figured out clips yesterday. And I had a couple, I'd only streamed for an hour. And I had a couple of clips that were funny and kind of worth including kind of the discourse. And I submitted them to those YouTube channels that do the daily summary clips of, like, here's the funny things that happened at Snap today. And I haven't watched, there's a couple, I haven't watched them, but I saw in one of them that I'm in there. So I'm in, like, my first YouTube video of, here's the funny things that happened in Snap yesterday. So that's cool. I haven't had one of these today, I don't think. Only kind of my own screw-ups. But we'll see. We keep going. Thank you. Big personal win for me. Yeah, I think we could do a Nick Fury here.
Who they dig up this time?
His Iron Man is gone. We'd like to see that. His Miss Marvel middle. We'd like to see that. Is that even a snap? Like, do we snap here?
Snap.
I'll snap here.
Victory.
It's great to know that my opponent has Iron Man. It's great to know that my opponent has Miss Marvel. I don't have a ton of disruption. Enchantress is real cool to have. Quicksilver, great. Black Cat, great. Just kidding, those are both terrible. But having Enchantress is cool. I don't know if I like playing Quicksilver just yet. I think I can afford to hold that. Later, Black Cat. Baron Zemo's pretty cool. That said, it's probably not getting... Is it lowest power, lowest cost card? Yeah. We'll do Zemo over here. Fun fact about Sauron that a lot of people don't clock. That's funny. Is what is my opponent doing with Crystal? What is it? Get some sort of combo? Is this a tribunal thing? I don't know what's happening. The thing with Sauron, which I'm actually kind of faced with now, I don't know if I want to play Enchantress. I guess I kind of do. I guess slowing him down is good. It removes all the text from ongoing cards, so it kills Blob. Now, I'm not likely to draw Blob, but even though the ability for Blob is primarily on reveal, it loses all the text and becomes a worthless card, and so I'm very reluctant to play that here. I could do Legion here, but I kind of like Sandman. guess it seems like, what's his name? Magic is a card that he would be likely to play. Now, this is great, because then Legion screws him up. He's not going to see that coming. He's no... It's pretty great. I will do... I think I'll snap here.
Oh, snap.
Sandman's going to become something large and in charge, and I'm going to be able to move stuff, and then Legion to turn things off. So we are definitely Legioning middle. The question is, do I want to throw right or left while I'm at it? I could simply do... something like this. Seems unlikely that he's going to be able to play a couple cards under that cost that'll get him to where he needs to go. The alternative would be to, like, do something like this. I think that actually there is an argument to do this. Yeah, I like it. And I've already snapped. That Legion cooks him. He's got no way of seeing that coming. What is this, Living Tribunal that's going to come down? No, Onslaught, yeah.
Behold my mighty hand.
The other thing,
Victory.
in some very, very, very intelligent discourse that I've seen about making this deck, is to put Legion in there. And looking at his list, like this is some kind of ongoing stuff that has magic to extend the turn, I really think that Legion makes a ton of sense. And I think that after this game, I am, win or lose, I'm going to try and find a spot for Legion, maybe in the Eliath spot. Red Guardian can do a lot of work on other things in his deck, but I really want to get this out on curve. Yeah, and he would have protected it anyway. That's fine. Bar Sinister, I think, generally favors him. He's got Arishim, and he can't do anything about that. That's kind of funny. Playing this Nick Fury fills up my hand, which I don't love, but Miss Marvel middle is never going to do anything on Bar Sinister, and he might turn it off with magic. There's an argument right now, actually, to play Nick Fury or one of these cards on Bar Sinister, because if I'm him, I might want to turn that off as quickly as possible. I think I'm comfortable Nick Furying right here, but there's definitely an argument to not do that.
I still believe in heroes.
Some of the worst 6-drops you can find. I can just do... In fact, I think I will skip Infinite left. Doesn't seem like he's going to be able to get bigger than that. Crystal benefits him. That said, he could easily magic left, and I'm not happy about that. If he snaps here, I might just leave. I feel like his deck is more fragile than mine, and over time I can grind him out. But I don't hate my position right now. Him seeing me skip there, is this magic? No, Miss Marvel. So I've one left. That is for sure true. The question then is, can I get big enough to win?
Hello! So happy!
Right.
Hello! Can you understand me? Hello! So happy! Hello! Can you understand me?
And I know that my opponent has Iron Man, and he has Ravonna on the board. And I do not have Enchantress in my hand. And Destroyer, of course, will not work. The most power I think I can add is this, as long as Zemo doesn't pull a 3 or a 4. But Zemo pulling a 3 or 4, I guess he's only got 1 card left in his deck. This is also just some power. Maybe that's just, I mean, yeah, I don't need to get cute with the Marvel. I could just do this. There's an argument to leave here, but I am going to stay. Is this Tribunal?
Such
is that enough?
Judgment.
Can he beat 17 right with that? He barely can. Yeah, I played that fine. And in fact, I don't think there was any permutation that of cards that I could have gotten to 13 with just playing a Naked Arishem. Had I done Marvel Middle, that would have not triggered because the Zemo and the Magic are both 3. That's fine, ultimately. I'm okay with that. My opponent playing a Tribunal deck with me having Enchantress in the deck, I think I really need to be conservative with the snaps until I've got... Well, Alioth is going to be useful, but until I've got Enchantress in hand, because that just cooks him. Yeah, hella 1 left, for sure. We'll do a Dakin. Dakin left seems pretty good. That said, Muir Island, pretty good for Iron Man stuff. We'll see how that goes. Ooh. Could do something cute like Shard Venom, but then if Venom goes left, that feels pretty bad. I kind of like this.
Venom. You are mine.
Loki is interesting. On account of I could get all the stuff to deal with his stuff. But then again, if I can take priority and Alioth, you know what? I think I just want to Alioth next turn anyway. Seems to me that Aliothing next turn is going to cook him no matter what. So I like a little of this. Now, the question is, do I want to... Because I could Alioth this turn, obviously. But I think that there is a better argument to Blob. And then try an Alioth, like, last turn. And I guess if I'm doing that over 2 turns, maybe I want to do something like Omega Red and then force these things. Because he's probably not going to try and stack these things... Well, now, I do know that he has Magic in his hand, so he might try Magic Sinister London, which would feel weird. I kind of like Omega Redding left, and then Blob Aliothing right. Well, that said, if he has a super scroll, that's going to feel weird with... whatever. I think we're okay. Alright, so if I'm him, am I doing this magic this turn? Or am I doing it next turn? This is kind of where it comes down to. He's got to have to do it kind of quote-unquote both turns. I think that probably the way to do it is Alioth this turn. This is going to eat... I think I snap here. Should have snapped earlier, probably. The thing is, he's got 2 discounted things. So he really, really might want to hold it until the last turn. I think that Blob first is correct. But I can absolutely see a world in which I live to regret this. Okay. All right. We win. We win. There's no way. There's no way. I don't think there's any permutation here where Alioth doesn't just cook him. This is an... I mean, he might leave, but assuming that he stays, which seems likely, I've just taken with 1 point of an infinity ticket. Get out of here. Womp, womp.
Victory.
Pew pew. Feels good. Please leave. Please leave. Please leave. I don't want to grind it out and look real dumb if you beat me. Yeah! Oh, that feels great. Well, I was talking about cutting Alioth, but that really just locked up the game for me. Man, I don't know how to improve this deck. Woo! We did it. We did it. That's an infinity ticket. Easy peasy. And boosters on Arishem, everything. Turning up Nate.
Shiny logo.
That is a beautiful card. Awesome. Or was that gold 2? I think that was gold 3. Yeah, that was gold 3. Nice. So again, we have 1 week to get through 34 silver tickets. I'm probably never going to play another silver. To 19 gold tickets to convert to as many infinity and play infinity. And so far, I don't know the exact rate, but I think I started with like 27 or 30 gold tickets, like in total. I don't think I had any more than 27 at a time, but I think probably in aggregate I had 30. So we're looking at just under 50% conversion for that, which is awesome. I've been doing pretty good with the Blink Loki list. I have no idea. I guess with Arishem today, I've used 3 gold tickets in 1-1, or 2 gold tickets in 1-1. I don't know for sure. That feels real good. I am going to call the stream there and take a bit of a break. And I say a bit of a break because we are still doing Arishem times for the rest of the day. This deck is too much fun. Again, a little miffed it took 4 keys, but you know, that's why we hoard the keys in the first place. You know what we'll do, actually, before we call it, is we will start spending some of these things. So what I do, before the final week of a season... Oh, thank you very much, Hail Satan Luxie. I appreciate you hanging out. I hoard my monthly stuff. You see, I've got 27... season caches, as well as some boosters and variants. I wait until the end, till they've released more cards that I pick up and more variants are released that the mystery variant can turn into. And so I wait until the last week to do that. I actually think I might hold until a few more days and just confirm that this avatar. Confirm that there's more. I'm not missing out on the potential of more kind of cool, rare avatars, or not avatars, variants that I want to get in on the mix. So I might hold it for a day or two. But no, this is super fun. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Did not get a ton of clip-worthy moments, except for that Alioth at the very end. That was pretty badass. And yeah. 1, thanks for hanging out. 2, follow if you haven't followed. 3, we're back on later tonight. I do not know exactly when that will be, but turn on your notifications, because later tonight we're doing more Arasham. Gonna get more tickets, get more Infinity Borders, the whole 9 yards. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll talk to you soon.